Okay, so my presentation today, just a short feature talk, will be about sleep. So I thought the start of this year, we all have our resolutions. So I thought one important thing we ought to consider is our health. Now, often we talk about like diet and exercising a bit more, but sleep is a very huge part, which I think a lot of us keep towards the end of our list. So I just wanted to have a brief discussion of what happens when we sleep, why our body needs sleep, and what happens when we don't sleep properly, and what we can do in 2024 to improve our sleep. So, here we are. So, what happens when we sleep? So, there's a lot of medical people here, so this is all reviews for you. Like all of this you already know. But essentially, when we sleep, I think the public often think that it's just an on and off switch. So whenever you need to sleep, just go in and then you come out. It's not quite like that. You enter a bit of a cycle. So you start off in you have about 4 stages. You have your initial stage called your uh, non-rapid eye movement stage 1, and then the stage 2 of your non-rapid eye movement 3, and finally your deepest sleep, your rapid eye movement sleep. So in each of these stages, different things are happening in your body. So in the first stage, this is when you're slowly falling asleep. So you have this individual. He's actually blinking, but his eyes are drooping. So this is when you're transitioning from your wakefulness to your sleep. So it's a very brief period. And this is when your muscles relax. And this is when when you start to drift into a bit of a light sleep. Okay, next we have our non-rapid eye movement 2 sleep. So this is where you spend your majority of your night. About 40 to 50% of your sleep time is here. Now, this is really important. So students in here, this is what, like, whenever you're pulling your late nights, when all the material you have ingested, this is when your mind collects that information and it starts to create these connections, these neural connections in your brain. So these things here, this is a graph called an EEG, and this thing here is called a sleep spindle. So they found studies where someone has learned a lot the previous day, they found a lot more of these on the EEGs. So this is a sign that these pathways are being created, and your brain is processing this. So also in the sleep, this is when your heart rate slows and your body temperature decreases, and you're transitioning further into deeper sleep. So stage 3. So this is non-rapid eye movement stage 3. So this is the deepest sleep. So here we have Leon. I think he's probably in there right now. I think this was in the Wadaka trip. You can see he's in the deep sleep right now. So this is the first stage of deep sleep. Now, it's quite challenging to wake up someone. So if you wake someone up and they've not been dreaming, but they wake up all groggy and unaware of their surroundings, you've probably woken them up in this stage of the sleep. So in this stage of the sleep, it's where a lot of your muscle growth and your repair is happening. So once again, a different part of your body's bodily functions which sleep has a massive impact on. And finally, the deepest portion of our sleep is the rapid eye movement sleep. So can't see it, but this is me in uni. My friends found my napping spot. So I'm in a pretty deep sleep there. So rapid eye movement sleep is really important for our cognition. So our memory, our emotional regulation. This is where that function takes place, and we recover in that aspect. So we go through these cycles probably 4 or 5 times. They're about 90 to 110 minutes, this cycle, and you go through it about 4 to 5 times in a night. So sleep isn't just binary. So when we have irregular patterns of sleep, or we have too little sleep, we don't get enough of these steps. And our body can really pay the price for it. So here's a quick poster of all the issues that we can get from a lack of sleep. So we can have memory issues, concentration, mood changes. I think a lot of us know a grumpy waker. When we wake them in the morning, their faces all down, they're scrunched up. You can't speak to them for the first 2 hours. So this also the immune system and sleep are really tied together. So you can find that people are more susceptible to illness, and poor sleep is a risk factor for a lot of diseases. There are a few listed here. So you got all sorts from cardiovascular diseases to neurotic diseases to endocrine. They're all tied in there. So obviously, everyone knows quite a bit of this, but how many of us are actually implementing it? So a quick raise of hands, some volunteers. What time did you go to bed last night? Quick raise. Auntie? 11, okay, that's not too bad. Jason? 11, okay. Okay, Anna? Okay, there's a lot of 11 o'clocks. I'm not sure I believe you, but okay. Yeah, well, I'm not going to show the graph. I tracked my sleep this week. It was very bad. So I think a resolution for me this year is to improve my sleep, to go to bed a bit earlier. And there are things that are preventing us from doing this. So what is preventing us from doing this? So these are some of the factors that can stop us from sleeping. So this one, I think a lot of us have. This is a big thing. Raise your hands if you go on your phone before you go to bed. So you've got your phone next to you, yeah, lying. Honestly, I do it as well. So it's like, I know it's a nice thing. You're lying in bed, you're cozy, and you just want to flick through your phone real quick before you put it down. But studies have shown that the light from the phone, the blue light, it really impacts your circadian rhythm. So the circadian rhythm's a thing I think the nurses and doctors will explain later, so you can explain it to the kids. But essentially what it's doing, the blue light is affecting a pineal gland. It's a gland in your brain from releasing an important hormone called melatonin, which helps you get tired and helps start that sleep cycle. So one of the things that we can do to improve our sleep is our phone. And so phones at night, an hour before you go to sleep, just put it away. Also, they say physical activity. So if you've just been sat around all day, you're not going to be very tired. So get up, do something. Try and be a bit active and strain your body during the day. But they say don't do it about 4 hours before you go to bed. So try and do it around a bit earlier in the day. One thing, just be a bit active with your sleep routine. So it's a little challenge for you. So for a week, track what you do, what your bedtime routine is, what time you go to bed, and what time you get up, and see if you can improve this day to day. This is something that we've all talked about extensively, caffeine and nicotine. So caffeine, we should also look at the products that caffeine is in, because caffeine's in a lot of places. And they say even a small amount, 6 hours before you go to bed, can really impact your sleep. Here's one actually that's important: your sleep environment. So the medics will explain with the circadian rhythm, your body is really susceptible to light when it comes to this. So having a really dark room, free of noise, is really important. So this is me at camp. This was not a very good sleep environment. So I used Lean Auntie's car. Thank you. Also napping. I've seen a couple of you nap during the sermon. Don't nap for more than 30 minutes during the day if you really need to. All right? And also stress and large meals. So we'll try and be a bit more, so if you're going to have a huge meal, keep it a bit before bedtime. So finally, so I think I can move it on. So I think this is the tips written around for us. So basically the point of this talk was that we should have, I think this year we'll try and adopt an attitude to be a bit more proactive in taking care of our health. And I know you're all very knowledgeable. I know you attend all the NHS lectures and your e-learning, which you flick through. and you know all this information. But this year, let's take our knowledge, let's try and put it in our lives and try and make 2024 a healthier year for us. Okay, thank you for listening.